Welcome to the Love Your Life and Yourself podcast, the weekly show where science meets soul and mom chaos meets mind mastery. You're not just a mom. You're a woman with dreams, a career, a body that needs care, and a soul that craves more. This podcast is your permission slip to stop surviving and start thriving in motherhood, health, career, and stress resilience. I'm your host, Dr. Ashley Rath, and every week we bring you actionable insights and transformative conversations to help you create a life you truly love. From evidence-based wellness strategies to authentic self-discovery, we'll explore what it takes to thrive through expert interviews and real unfiltered stories. Let's dive into today's episode. Welcome back. Today, we have 10 biohacks that actually work, and these are my real life experiences. So I get questions and messages all the time about what do you do for this? What do you do for that? And before we chase any shiny objects, here's the truth. The most powerful biohacks are boring, consistent, unsexy, yet wildly effective. So today I'm going to share with you what I actually use and how I actually use them and what to avoid so you can stop guessing and actually start feeling better this week. So welcome back to the show where we cut through the clutter and get real about practical wellness. So for the first things, each biohack, what you're going to get today is what it is, how I do it, how it works, and things you could possibly try this week to put it in action. Also, maybe some common mistakes that you may see with it. So the first one is red light therapy. So I use red light therapy for a couple different things. So I use them personally for my skin and any sort of aches and pains that I'm having or muscle soreness after working out, etc. I also use it a lot on my children. Coughs, colds, sore throats. Essentially, I'm putting it directly on the skin. Why it works is these near infrared wavelengths really support the cellular energy. So this mitochondria function. The mitochondria is the power of the cell. So this can help stimulate collagen and really help to just get the cell to heal faster and work better. And the mitochondria is that energy. So if you can support that, your body is going to recover and heal quickly. So you can do this. You can do red light therapy very frequent. If you do it on your skin, I know some people that do it both morning and evenings. Other times for like maybe colds, coughs, illnesses, once a day. Sometimes you can do it twice a day. It's totally up to you. What you can do is what I would recommend you doing is actually start tracking how you feel before and after. So I have definitely noticed a difference in my skin with red light therapy, and also my children's kind of coughs or colds, they tend to heal much quicker. I do notice differences within muscle tightnesses. Some people use it for period cramps too, or like the discomfort you get in your period. So that's a really great idea to change. I have used that too, which definitely helps. I don't know if it's the heat. If you are interested, I will put my Loom Light, that's what I use, link in the show notes. And sometimes they run some really, really awesome specials, which I actually think they have one coming up. All right, number 2, infrared sauna. This is my detox sanctuary. So normally when I do the sauna, in the summertime, I don't do it a lot. In the wintertime, I try to do it 1 to 3 times a week. This is also like my guilty pleasure of when I sometimes will scroll because it's very distracting, especially if I'm in there for a longer time. The science really says like a half hour at top heat. If I don't remember to turn my infrared sauna on as it heats up, I'll stay in there for a longer period. And when I get really hot, my brain is telling me to get out, get out, get out, get out. So this is my real time where I get to watch funny TikTok videos. Or I read sometimes, or I just sit in silence. Hopefully the kids aren't waking up. Normally I do this at night because you're super sweaty and you got to shower afterwards. So this heat exposure improves circulation, supports recovery. It sweats, so it's a big detox, which is fantastic. And really, it has just a boatload of benefits. One session at a time at a low temp if you're not used to it. So I would recommend that. And make sure, one of the pitfalls is obviously like you can overheat. So make sure you're hydrated. If you need to get out, get out. And then as you do it more, you'll be able to sit in there more frequently. But it's incredible for improved circulation, improved recovery. If you have any muscle aches or pains, it helps with that. It helps to detox, it helps calm the nervous system. And really, consistency is key for this. All of them are. You actually have to do it to reap the benefits. Number three, cold therapy. I did this a lot last winter as I had an outdoor one. This winter, I am getting an inside one. I haven't decided on which one I'm going. So if you guys have any recommendations for specific cold plunges or ice baths, they're called a couple different things, cold immersion therapy, let me know. I am all ears of which one I am going to purchase. I told my husband I want that for my birthday, which is coming up here in November. So um, how I use it. So normally I try to do a minimum of 90 seconds up to 2 minutes. So 90 seconds to 2 minutes, so 120 seconds. And why it works, this cold exposure can increase alertness, improve recovery. It can increase cortisol. So if you have like flatline cortisol, especially in the morning, it helps to build your cortisol and raise it so you actually have energy throughout the day. It can help with weight loss. It helps build stress resiliency. It can actually help you do work on your breath work because you may have to breathe through it since it is a stressor to the body. And so if you don't have a cold plunge or are absolutely not interested in doing it, what I would recommend is taking a bowl of ice water and you actually just plunge your head in that for 10 seconds, come up, get some air, and do it again. And you do it 3 times. And then that will have very similar effects as well. Pitfalls? Well, it's not fun. Honestly, I have never wanted to do an ice plunge. I feel amazing afterwards. I have more energy. I have more mental clarity. I feel like I like just did a workout. Like it just feels so good afterwards. But getting in, it is not that fun. But I do it anyway because I know the benefits. Acupressure mat. Oh my gosh, you guys, you are if you don't have one of these, I can also send you, I'll put a link in the show notes. But if you ever have trouble falling asleep or staying asleep, you need this. So why it works, it helps to honestly downshift the nervous system to get you firing in a parasympathetic state for longer. So if you have a busy brain, I will lay on it at night in my bed before I go to sleep, and it will put me to sleep. You're not supposed to sleep on them, but a lot of times I'll fall asleep and then I'll kind of wake up and throw it on the floor. It will it will help you drastically shift from that sympathetic fight or flight mode into that parasympathetic state. It helps to regulate the nervous system. It helps to increase your stress resilience. And people report falling asleep a lot faster. Plus, their brain isn't so busy. A lot of times we have trouble turning off our brain. And so, if this is you, I highly recommend getting an acupressure mat. Plus, it will help regulate your nervous system, which will absolutely help your overall health. Again, this one's kind of like an ice bath. It's not really that fun when you first lay on it, but after you breathe through it, it takes about 30 seconds for you to kind of breathe through that initial, like, I want everything in my body is telling me to get off this mat because it's pokes your back. Well, if you stick with it, after a couple minutes, you will feel heat from that. And then the relaxation will really start to set in. Even my husband does this one. I'm a little cuckoo, I know, but he is like, "Huh, where's that mat?" It works. Number 5, sacred sleep. I know, you're like, "This one's boring." Yes, I get it, but this is a non-negotiable for me. I protect it, and you should too. We underestimate how much sleep plays a role in our overall health. So if you truly want to biohack your system, get some good sleep. If you are not getting good sleep, try doing some of these other hacks to get it. Sleep is the master switch for your hormones, your appetite, weight loss, your mood, healing. It affects all functions of the body. And so you need to choose this as a guardrail. So no screens 60 minutes before bed or set a bedtime alarm. If you need blackout curtains, cool rooms. My husband hates when it's hot out because our old farmhouse gets really warm. And now that it's getting cooler here in Minnesota, he's sleeping so much better. So create a cool room. absolutely helps. Consistent lights out and devices in the room, turn them off, get them out. Magnesium can also help at night for you to sleep. Pitfalls, sometimes catching up on weekends or having a very challenging schedule where you aren't able to fall asleep and wake up at a similar time within about an hour frame, that can really, really affect that circadian rhythm. Caffeine after lunch, that can have a big impact. And then, of course, scrolling. Get off your screens. It'll help. I'm telling you. If you want to biohack your system, do that. Number 6, vitamin D3 plus K2. Again, this is a sunshine. This is an essential supplement that most of us need, especially if you live in the tundra of Minnesota, where I am at, or anywhere not near the equator, especially in the Minnesota winters or winters in general. So D3 and K2 really are they act like, they call it the sunshine stack. So why it works is D plays a role in the immune function, mood, metabolic health, and K2 complements and helps D3 be absorbed for bone and vascular health. So it's really important that you have the K with the D3. If you don't know how much to take, you can always get your levels tested. I've never actually seen someone too high. I know it can happen. I've heard of it happening, but most of us are needing far more than what the regulations or recommendations are because we are so low. Number 7, intermittent fasting. Oh my gosh, there are whole books on number 7 of what to do, how long to do it, et cetera, et cetera. So I have done everything from I would say your shortest intermittent fasting of what I would say like 12 hours to 16 hours to 24-hour fast to 36-hour fast. And my longest fast has been a 52-hour. My next one is going to be a 3-day, so 72-hour. But fasting is incredible. So these fewer feeding windows help stabilize the glucose, reduce decision fatigue, and really improve appetite awareness. It helps to regulate blood sugar. And then when you get into those longer fasts, after that like 36-hour mark, what happens is your body actually starts cleaning up oxidative stress, so all the bad stuff, and your cells can function much, much higher. So it kind of cleans all the garbage out in those longer fasts. But if you've never done one, start with what we call a 16-8. So 16 hours fasting, 8 hours eating. So you don't even have to reduce your caloric intake. You can still eat the same number of calories. You just eat them in a smaller window. And it really does help to stabilize blood sugar. I've seen massive weight changes with just intermittent fasting. Sometimes this can be a little bit of a mind game. However, uh, a lot of it is you actually will have more mental clarity in it. People think, oh, I could never do that. You can start small and your body will actually get better at it. I wouldn't recommend starting out with a 72-hour intermittent fast, as that can be very challenging. And if your body is not used to using ketones as energy, or I should say fat as not ketones, if your body isn't used to being in ketosis, which is using fat for energy, it can become not pleasant. So I would highly recommend starting small and working your way up to that. And then while you are in fast, make sure that you are not ignoring electrolytes, whether that's an element packet or a couple drops of Himalayan salt or pinches of Himalayan salt in your water, etc. But it can be an incredible stabilizer for your nervous system, your glucose, your mental emotional state, and overall improved appetite awareness. Number 8, protein first. I don't know how many times people ask me, I just don't know what to eat. Eat all the protein. I try to eat close to 1 gram of protein per my body weight. So a minimum of 30 to 40 grams of protein with every meal. And then any sort of snack has protein in it too. If you are further away from your ideal weight, you can drop down to 0.7 or 0.8 per gram of your body weight for each gram of protein. Honestly, protein supports lean muscle mass. It will curb your hunger and it will keep your blood sugar more regulated. If you want to gain muscle, you need to eat more protein. And honestly, you just start to build your meals of like, okay, we're having chicken. What can I build around this to create the meal? And then you just hit repeat. when we have this protein first, we're less likely to eat all the crappy stuff. And I see a ton of people lose a lot of weight when they really hone in on their protein and eating lots of protein. Number 9, magnesium. I use magnesium in a couple different ways. I use magnesium lotion, especially after workouts if I'm really sore. And I also use magnesium glycinate orally. Again, I need that more post workouts, or if I'm having any sort of sleep issues or tight muscles, things of it can also magnesium citrate can actually help with constipation too. So if that's you, there's many different types of magnesium: threonate, glycinate, citrate. Why it works, each magnesium is a little bit different, but really supports relaxation, sleep quality, muscle function. And the higher your stress, the more your body uses of this mineral. So if you take too much citrate, you're going to get some loose stools, although sometimes people want that because they have been so plugged up lately. So magnesium glycinate can really help with your sleep and muscle tension, tightness, etc. There are so many different types of magnesium out there, and different ways of ingesting or putting it on your skin, etc. So go check it out, see what's new. Number 10 is lab work. Stop guessing and testing. So in our office, we have at-home hormone tests that we do. People just spit in a bottle and they send it off to the lab, and we figure out what do you need? Where are you lacking? Where's your stress at? How's your insulin working, etc. I see so many people spending so much money on different supplements, and it's just kind of a shot in the dark. My coach said, we're just exchanging pharmaceuticals for nutraceuticals, meaning supplements to treat symptoms. So let's get to the root cause of it. Your baseline is so important and so powerful. And as a bonus, number 11, I put it as a bonus because I actually haven't started it yet. But I just got myself a 10,000 lux light lamp. They call it a sunshine light. And I'm going to have it in my office downstairs at my house where there's really no windows. And it's like artificial sunlight, obviously not as good as sunlight. And what I'm going to be doing is using it in the morning because we live in the middle of the tundra. We don't have as much sunlight in the morning when I wake up. So by acting or having some artificial light in my eyes and my face when I first wake up, it will help my circadian rhythm and it will help my cortisol regulate in the morning. So this can help be like an instant kind of state changer to say, hey, body, it's morning. You need to spike your cortisol like it should. So then I have enough cortisol for the rest of the day. So that's a little bonus that I'm putting together here for my biohacks. So here's my challenge to you. I want you to commit for 2 weeks, pick one, not all of them, one. Or if you're doing maybe 2 at the most. And tell me, what are you doing? Write in the comments. Tell me what you're going to be working on and how you are going to start getting healthier. So if this episode helps, share with a friend who's stuck in the all or nothing. For deeper support, you can grab a couple links here and pick a tool, or reach out to me, visit me on my website. You can send me a message, etc. I'd love to hear from you. Until then, though, love your life and yourself. Thanks for tuning in to Love Your Life and Yourself. I hope today's episode gave you one more tool or one more truth to help you thrive in your health, happiness, and resilience. Remember, loving yourself isn't selfish, it's leadership. And it's the foundation for building a life that actually feels like yours. If this spoke to you, hit that follow button, leave a review, and send it to a friend who needs to hear it. And if you want to dive even deeper, grab a copy of my #1 best-selling book, Love Your Life and Yourself. It's the heart behind this podcast, and it's helped thousands of women step into a life they actually love. You can find it at drashleyrath.com or through the link in the show notes. Until next time, take care of you and keep choosing to love your life and yourself.